Be a good man. Don't be a nice man. Let me tell you why. A good man, being a nice man tends to come with a couple things that traditionally would seem like a good idea. Okay? Say, be the nice guy, do the nice things, all this different stuff. But a lot of times, being a nice guy comes at the expense of being your true self. So what happens is, if you're a nice guy, a lot of times what you do is you're sacrificing your own emotions to please other people. And what happens when you do that is essentially you are not being the most authentic version of yourself, because you might have the best intentions and you might just be trying to do the best thing in your mind and in your heart, because growing up, your mom, society, all these different things tell you to be nice. Be nice. That's what they say. Be nice. If you're a little kid and you're playing and your mom's like, be nice, fucking all this shit. It's normal. We all want to be fucking nice, But if being nice comes at the expense and the sacrifice of being yourself, the short-term gains of that versus the long-term results of it, it just doesn't even out. You can cause a lot of damage in your life by constantly sacrificing your own feelings and your own thoughts to please other people. So, two situations, say something's happening and you're having a dispute with somebody, and what you do is you suppress your own true feelings to please this other person, okay? In the moment, you might feel like that was the best thing to do, but what happens is you suppress your own emotion and your own thoughts and your own feelings to please this person, okay? It might avoid conflict in the short term, but what happens is every single time that you suppress your own emotions and you suppress your own feelings, you slowly start to build a case, and what it leads to is long-term resentment to the person, to your boss, to your friends, to just about anything, okay? Authenticity is the key to all of this, okay? And when you're sacrificing your own feelings and your own emotions to please other people, long term this takes a real toll on you, and you, like I said, you build a case and you start to build up resentment towards these people for things that they never even know you were truly feeling. Because if you're constantly hiding your feelings, and not even hiding them, you're putting your feelings second to put other people's feelings first, long term you will resent the people. And what happens is you start to build all this shit up. You build up all these feelings and all this stuff, and then one day these feelings will pop, because we're not meant to hold things in like this, okay? And being the nice man, you will do this constantly. Being the good man, what you do instead is you express your emotions. Pretty basic, right? Okay. What happens is it might lead to some short-term uncomfortable conversations, but the long-term benefit of these uncomfortable conversations are a lot better, okay? It's like two different people. I would rather have the person in my life that will tell me straight up how it is and how they feel than have the person that just tells me what they think I want to hear, okay? It's a lot more authentic life to live, and in the end, it's a lot more beneficial to everybody involved. To you, to those people, to all this different stuff. Being a good man versus being a nice man will affect all aspects of your life. Your career, relationships, friendships, etc. You have to be unapologetically yourself within good reason. It's not your job to be a nice man, but it is your absolute God-given duty on this earth to be a good man. Okay? We all know, living a life based in strong morals, ethics, values, you gotta stand firm on this shit. And this is what makes you a good man. Okay? What makes you a nice man is constantly suppressing your own emotions and your own feelings to please other people. Nobody likes a nice guy. And there's a reason why they say nice guys finish last, because they truly fucking do. Good men, that's the ones that end up doing the most in this lifetime, okay? And what I found is when you change that and you pivot from going from a life of constantly trying to please people and all this different stuff, and you live in your truth, you live a much more authentic life. And that might come at the expense of losing certain people that maybe not even supposed to be in your life. Because what are you doing? It's like, say if a girl comes in your life and you're constantly trying to be, oh, nice and all this different shit. It's like, bro, you're lying. Being a nice guy will lead you to lie and do all these things more often than being a good man that might say something uncomfortable, but he's being authentic, and it's a lot more sustainable, and you feel a lot better and you get a lot more out of it. So, long story short, being a nice guy will damage your life in ways that you can't imagine. And it's fucked up because your main intention is just to be the best man you can be. So you think that being the nicest man you can be will get you there, will get you your results, will get you all these things that you're looking for. What I learned from my own personal experience was I learned to be a nice man to avoid conflict from growing up. My stepdad was just like this fucking crazy narcissistic, crazy ass guy. And I learned from a young age to avoid conflict in the household, which was already there between all the other members of my family. I didn't want to add to it. So what I did was I would constantly sacrifice my own feelings to avoid adding more conflict to the overall situation, okay? This is the result of growing up with a narcissist stepfather, not my real father. And as I grew up, this later translated into my life, which I had to rewire my brain because it was no longer serving me in my adult life. I'll explain why. I moved to New York when I was 23, so it's coming up on 3 years. And essentially, being a nice guy in New York is pretty fucking rough, because this city will chew nice guys up, okay? You're constantly being put in positions where things are testing you, whether it's people, whether it's just life, whether it's your commute to work, whether it's a million things in this city will test you and push your buttons. And this city will chew up nice guys, okay? And there's two things that can happen. You could either pivot to make the choice to be the good man, which you always intended to be, okay? Or you can let the city chew you up and become resentful of all this stuff and continue living down that nice guy path, which will ultimately lead you to becoming bitter because, like I said, overall you're constantly sacrificing your own feelings and emotions. But a nice guy won't tolerate bullshit or people that don't treat him right in the world, okay? A good man will stand up for what he believes in, protect his family, provide, and actualize all the goals and things that he wants to accomplish within his life. A nice man will constantly sacrifice all those things to please other people's emotions, okay? Being a nice man is absolutely destructive to your life as a man, okay? Being a good man, like I said, is your God-given purpose on this fucking earth. If you're born as a man, the goal should be to be the best man you can be, not the nicest man you can be. Because being nice all the time comes with a sacrifice. And that sacrifice is your own well-being. And if you want to be good for anybody, you gotta be good for yourself. You can't give if you don't have anything to give. If you're constantly sacrificing all that stuff, you don't have it. So, what I'm trying to say is, nice guys finish last, good men finish first. And being a good man, you might take them to the chin a couple times, get knocked down, but you get back up. And when you stand on your morals, your ethics, and your values, you will always finish where you need to be. And you'll do everything you need to do in this lifetime. Don't sacrifice your feelings to please other people and live in your truth. Be authentic and be a good man. Good men finish first, nice guys finish last.